Hello there all you tubies and tubettes and welcome back to Retrospecs. Spexxy here. Now you may be asking yourself, Spexxy, what are you doing wearing that rather stylish and sexy yet rather menacing looking outfit? And that is because I have joined the dark side. That's right, yeah, after watching one of Moonbo's recent live streams in which he built the T65 X-Wing, I got my Star Wars creative juices flowing and I thought, you know what, I need to build something that can take that thing on. So I got to the dark side and I tried to build something that would take it on for sure. Now you may remember a video where I filmed it with the Scrapman where we made this TIE Fighter Interceptor. This was my version of it. There was two versions of this and there are two versions on the workshop for you to try. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. It is awesome with the extremely talented Scrapman. We had a lot of fun making that video and on making these TIE Fighters. So, this of course is the TIE Fighter Interceptor, not your standard affair. The sports model. But I wanted to build something else because I remember the Scrapman asked me in that video, how many more TIE Fighters are you going to build? Because there are a lot of different TIE Fighters on the Wikipedia. How many are you going to make? And I laughed that off and said, no. I'm not making any more. It took long enough to make this one. I'm not going to do any more. Well, things have changed. Because that video by Moonbo, when I saw that X-Wing, I thought, well, he needs something to take that on. And the Interceptor isn't the one to do it. So let's just shut this thing down and show you what I now have. So I'm going to go up in the air. Somewhere around here is a landing pad, and on that landing pad is something a little bit special. I wanted to make something a little bit more... Oh, tree. Wait a second. Can he avoid it? Yes. Okay, I wanted to make something a little bit more special and a little bit more advanced, and that's exactly what I have done. So I'm looking out now for a landing pad. There should be some around here somewhere. Okay, there's one over there. And on that landing pad is something a little bit more special. If Moonbo built the T65 X-Wing, I needed something to take that on. Then I built the same ship that took it on in the film, the TIE Fighter Advance X1, or better known as Darth Vader's personal TIE Fighter. This is the ship that was in the movie that followed him down the trench run on the Death Star, and you could say it's the daddy of all TIE Fighters as it was driven by his father. So let's just bring this down and show you. I can get it side by side maybe. A little bit of lag, but let's just bring it in and land this thing here. Okay, so I'm going to jump out the back there and let's have a look. So let's just crouch down and should be able to sneak straight out the back. Okay, so side by side these things are a little bit different in size. The X1 Advance is a little bit bigger. You will see not only the wings but also the body of it. It is a lot bigger now. Of course, the Interceptor was very, very manoeuvrable. It is the sports model after all, and it had a lot of help with glitch steering and everything else, and the thrusters on this one, and it did move around quite fast. Now, the X1 is not as fast, because it is a lot bigger, but it is pretty manoeuvrable still. So let me just show you around it. So I've got this lovely new grille on the front here, which I think came out well with the small piping. As you can see, there are thrusters inside there. I've got the thrusters at the top there that are helping with the pitch. I've got thrusters also at the back here which are helping with the pitch. Under the wings and hidden nicely I have thrusters here and here which help with the roll. And there are a lot more thrusters inside as well. If I just bring the spider's web up for a second, you will see this thing is full of thrusters, and that is because it needs a lot to get it off the floor, and most of these are actually set to full, so this is quite a heavy beast, and yeah, it needs it. Now we've also got these little guns and detailing on the wing here, and on the back I've got a little bit extra detail, but I've also got these bits I put on the side which act as steps, so you can jump up here and then here and then here onto the body, and then you can press this button here which will open up the hatch and you can get inside. So that is one method of getting in. I can jump out again if I jump up here. Just a second. I should be able to anyway. Oh, he's stuck. There you go. Up there and out. And you can jump in through the front if you would rather do that by just pressing the E key after targeting the seat at the front there. So that is how you get in and out of this thing. But what about flying it? How does it fly? Well, let's find out, shall we? Let's shut the door there. So it takes off pretty well. Not as fast as the Interceptor, but still pretty good. Like I say, I can roll it quite well here. I can pitch it as well with the arrow keys. I'm using the TGFH and arrow key combination for flight. As used in my other one. I can turn it, steer it with the F and H key. I can go up with the T key, and if I press the G key, we get a little bit of thrust from the back there. Again, not as fast as the Interceptor, but still pretty cool. Now, the little blue lights on the back on the timer switches light up due to the logic block underneath there, and that trips when you press the button and the lights come on. So that gives you that illusion of the thrust at the back there. Yeah, pretty manoeuvrable. Not as manoeuvrable as the Interceptor, but then the Wikipedia said the same thing. The X1 was not as manoeuvrable. It was a heavier craft. However, it was more capable and it did have more firepower, and that was the whole idea. There was only a few of them built in the Star Wars universe. One of them was owned by Darth Vader, and I think X1, it was another clone Sith, owned one as well. So hence the name, the X1. Yeah, it was a prototype. It never went into mass production, and the only couple that were ever made were driven by those guys. So they did use then the wing setup for the TIE bomber, but everything else was pretty much scrapped, making it quite a unique little fighter. Now I think you'll agree, this thing can take on Moonbo's X-Wing. It is the right ship to do it. So I'm going to fly this thing around just for a while, show you what it can do some sick stunts if possible, and yeah. Let me just hop out of the seat again, and I'm going to show you how to redefine those keys. So can I actually get out of this? Oh, if I press the right key I might be able to. There we go. Jump up and out. So as I mentioned, redefining the keys. For this and the TIE Interceptor and a few more of my flying builds, I have used a similar method, and that is by redefining the keys. So if you press the escape key and then you go to options, you will notice that there is controls. Looking at controls then, if you pull the sidebar down, you will find the hotbar items. Hotbar item 1 to 9, and you can set these to whatever keys you want without losing them from 1 to 9. So they'll still work on the 1 to 9 keys, but you can set extra keys, additional keys to act as the same alternatives. So I've set the T for 1, the G for 2, the F for 3, the H for 4, the up arrow, down arrow, left arrow and right arrow for 5, 6, 7 and 8 respectively. If you do the same setup, you will find this is a lot easier to fly using that method. So that's just to show you guys how to do that so you can enjoy this to the full extent. I'm going to jump back in then, and yeah, so there it is. So if you enjoyed this video, as always, why not spank the hell out of that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe for more retro specs, and until next time, see you soon and bye for now. The Force is strong with this one.